Okay, picture this. On the windswept coast of northwestern Sri Lanka, there's this place where faith, legend, and the sea all come together. It's the historic shrine of St. Anne at Thalawila, and for more than 250 years, it's been pulling people to its shores. So, what's the deal? What's the story behind this absolutely massive gathering?
And it really is a fascinating question, right? I mean, what is it about this one specific spot that makes so many people drop everything and come here every year? We're not talking about a major city or some ancient capital, but for 1 week, just 1 week a year, it becomes one of the busiest, most crowded places in the whole country. It's wild.
I mean, just look at that number over 500,000 people. That is just staggering. It really tells you something about the spiritual pull this place has, doesn't it? We are literally talking about a sea of people, all gathered together on this remote little peninsula.
And here it is. This is the heart of it all. This is St. Anne's Shrine. It's pretty simple, really elegant, and it just stands there like a beacon against the sky. And to think, this whole building, this whole movement, it grew from a single miracle. Or, well, as the legends tell it, maybe even two. Okay, so let's really set the scene here. I want you to try and imagine the sheer scale of this thing. See, for most of the year, this place is just a quiet, almost empty stretch of coast. Pretty peaceful. But then, August rolls around.
And boom, the transformation is just unreal. What's normally this sleepy little fishing village completely explodes into a sprawling, temporary city built on faith. The air itself changes. Instead of just the sound of the ocean, it's filled with prayers, with songs, with the energy of hundreds of thousands of people, all there for the same reason.
And what's really amazing is who shows up. It's not just one group, not just one religion. You've got people coming from every single corner of Sri Lanka. Of course, there are many Catholics, but also people from other faiths too. They're all drawn here by the shrine's reputation for miracles. It's this incredible, powerful symbol of unity. So you have to ask, where did all of this even start? Well, like a lot of really sacred places, the story of St. Anne's is all about miracles. And what's fascinating here is that there isn't just one origin story, there are two, and they both revolve around a single, humble banyan tree. Okay, let's break these down. So on one hand, you've got this story of a shipwrecked trader. His ship, which was carrying a statue of St. Anne, sinks in a storm. He and his crew, they miraculously survive, and they find shelter under a banyan tree. He makes a promise right then and there. If his business recovers, he'll come back and build a church. And then, get this, local fishermen later find that exact same statue from his ship lodged in that exact same tree. Crazy, right? Okay, so then on the other hand, you've got the traveler's vision. A poor Portuguese traveler falls asleep under, you guessed it, the very same banyan tree. He has this powerful dream, a vision of St. Anne herself, who tells him to build a church right on that spot. So yeah, two totally different stories, but one shared sacred tree.
And this quote, it just gives you chills. It really captures how intense that vision must have been. This wasn't just some regular dream, It was a profound, completely life-changing experience, a great awakening light. You can almost feel the power in those words. It's the kind of thing that makes a person dedicate their whole life to a mission.
And this is the coolest part. There's a real physical link to that sacred past. The banyan tree that's standing in front of the church right now, today, is believed to be the very same one from both of those legends. It's like a living piece of history, a direct connection for every single pilgrim to the miracles that started everything. So, you have a miraculous statue found in a tree. Amazing. But how do you get from that to the beautiful church we see today? Well, this is where the story shifts, where legend starts to meet actual, documented history. We can actually see how this house of faith was built, piece by piece, over more than 100 years. This timeline is pretty cool because it shows you the whole evolution. Let's walk through it. So it all starts back in the 18th century, and the first shelter is about as basic as you can get, just the hollow of that banyan tree. For the next 80 years or so, the statue was kept in these simple temporary huts made of things like kajan, which is just woven palm leaves, and later wattle and daub. But as the story spread and more people came, it was clear they needed something more permanent. So in 1837, they laid the foundation stone for the real church. By 1843, the main part was done, and then finally, between 1880 and 1887, they added the northern and southern transepts, which gave the church that classic cross shape it has today. And hey, just a quick side note on that word transept. If you're not an architecture buff, it's just the parts of the church that stick out to the sides, forming the arms of the cross shape. Super simple. Adding those was really the final touch that created the building everyone knows and loves today. Okay, so we've covered the history. Let's jump back to the present day. What is this pilgrimage actually like for the 500,000 people who make the trip every single August for the big annual feast? Well, for 7 full days, the place completely transforms into a city of tents. It's incredible. Pilgrims just live a really simple, communal life. A lot of them even cook their meals right there on the sand, kind of embracing that simplicity as a part of their devotion. The whole week is packed with prayers and religious ceremonies. And it's especially important for unmarried women and childless couples, because St. Anne is seen as their patron saint. This isn't just a quick visit, it is a full-on, immersive spiritual experience. I mean, just look at this. It says everything you need to know. You've got this normally barren, windswept land, and it just erupts into this explosion of color and celebration. It's such a powerful contrast, and it perfectly captures the absolute joy and life that faith brings to this spot. So after more than 250 years, what's the secret? What is the enduring spirit of Thalawila? And how is it that its spiritual pull, its magnetism, only seems to get stronger every single year? It really is a beacon. There's no other word for it. For the hundreds of thousands who camp out on its shores, and for everyone else who visits throughout the year, this is so much more than just a building. It's a place of hope, it's where miracles are remembered, and it's the center point for this huge, diverse community. And I think this quote really gets to the heart of it. People say it's one of the most spiritual and blessed churches they have ever found on the island. So beyond all the history and the cool legends, there's just a feeling here. Pilgrims talk about this deep sense of peace, a holiness you can't find anywhere else. And that personal connection, that's what keeps them coming back. And really, that's the big takeaway, isn't it? Thalawila isn't just one thing. It's this powerful meeting point. It's where the legend of a miracle in a tree meets the real, documented history of a church built over generations. It's where 500,000 separate people come together to become one single powerful community, year after year. It kind of leaves you with this one last big question to think about. What is it that gives a place its sacred power? Is it the miracle that kicked the whole thing off? Is it the collective faith of the millions of people who have come here over the centuries? Or is it something else? Is it the way those stories and that devotion get all woven together over time, creating something way bigger and more powerful than any single part? Something to think about.